Fight, another massive episode. As always, I'm joined by my co-host, Shannon O'Connell. Shannon, how are you?
Excited to be here.
And to help break down the December 4th massive weekend with his Ace Boxing and Tasman fighters, we have lethal Adam Lovelock and little big man, Chris McCullen. How are you, boys?
Rob, excited to be here again, mate. Big week of boxing coming up. Can't wait.
Busy?
Yeah, good to be here. It's good fun talking boxing, so good crew to talk with. Looking forward to it.
History-making fight last night by George Kambosos Jr, who is now the lightweight king of the world, getting all the chocolates. His fight with Teofimo Lopez at Madison Square Garden on the Matchroom Undercard, live on DAZN. That was absolute history-making. Shotgun. Your thoughts?
Wow. I put up a story about it, but I had to mute it because no one needed to hear our language. It was amazing. It was so exciting.
How did you have it? Lethal?
Mate, I had George winning going into probably the 10th round. After he got dropped in the 10th, I'd say it was probably even, so it would have come down to round 11 and 12. So the way George won those two rounds, it was a close fight, but to George, I gave it to George.
Mate, the mental tenacity, Chrissy, for him to just prepare the way he did and look like he wanted it more than Teofimo.
Yeah, I guess boxing can be a cruel sport, but it also can create fairy tales, and there's one right there where, you know, I guess probably not one of us would have given George a chance going into it. Well, I definitely didn't. I didn't think he was up to that level, but he proved me wrong. He you know, was awesome what he did, and he's got all the belts and he's made history. It's awesome.
I interviewed him this morning and just wanted to relay that I actually predicted that he was going to win the fight from the very first go live that we did with Skinny and Sava. So I gave him a chance, but he's in great spirits. And look, there's going to be a decision made shortly whether he ends up fighting Devin Haney or not to unify, just like Canelo has done. What's this mean for Australian boxing?
Like, it's huge what he did. You know, he was the way Lopez came out, like trying to kill him from the start. The way he just didn't fall into that. And you know, in an interview I seen, he got in his head for that purpose, and he just handled everything so professionally.
Lethal, was an absolute war and a fairy tale come true. All three men that entered the ring ended up on the canvas. Like, you can't write this stuff.
You can't. And I think the biggest thing that this will instill in the Australian culture is that underdog mentality that George took into there, that true self-belief that he had. Like, I don't think there was any time that he doubted in himself, whether the Australian boxing community or not backed him, or no matter whether the world boxing community backed him. But there was never a time when you would talk to George and you wouldn't think, wow, this guy's got it. This guy believes it so much. That self-belief now that every Australian fighter will take into a fight now, thinking, wow, look what George done. It's a massive underdog. That could be me.
It could be you.
Will be me.
It could be you because he's out of retirement. He's fighting December 4th. It could be you, Lethal.
Mate, you see.
Now, both fighters, Chrissy, a lot of testing going on beforehand. Passing of family members, birth of children, obviously the changing of from Triller to Matchroom. 8 different dates were set, locations, COVID. Absolutely everything was throwing at this fight from the boxing gods. But what did you like when you saw George fight?
It was such a good fight. It was great for Australia, great for George and his family. But yeah, I think just those last 2 rounds, good to see the way he come home and finish those off, and that probably got him the fight.
We did an interview with him this morning. This is what he had to say. He seems like he's in good spirits.
I'm doing good, man. I got all the jury here, so yeah, very good, very happy. You know, I came here for a mission and accomplished that mission. You know, a mission that I set out a long time ago.
Mate, you did everything you said. When you finished the fight with Selby, you went and ran. Did you run last night?
No, because I was stuck in the hospital. I really wanted to. I was stuck in the hospital, and you know, they had to stitch me up on my eyes and just do a couple of checks. But we're all good, and I want to get into the gym here at the hotel, but they've locked it away. The team saying no chance. You're going to rest. You need to rest. But I might sneak in somehow.
Mate, congratulations on a historic win. The greatest fight in Australian history. Did you sleep last night?
I actually did sleep when we got back from the hospital. I was pretty tired and I had a bite to eat. I did sleep for about 3-4 hours. I had a little bit of sleep. And then, yeah, got up and I've been straight into media non-stop all day, and it shows the true professional I am.
You are absolutely a true professional. We thank you. The entire country was behind you. It was an amazing fight. you did everything you said you were going to do. You wanted it more. You were more hungry. You said you were going to smash him to bits, and it looked like that in the 11th round. He was busted up. He was broken down mentally and physically, and you just kept coming back. This was an absolute fairy tale, and the movie is going to be amazing.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good movie when it is finally done. But there's still more to go. You know, this is nowhere near the end. This is halfway through the book. You know, there's more to go, and I want to defend these belts back home in Australia in front of 80,000 people. You know, there's so much more to go, but you know, it was a very good win. You know, the way we boxed, the game plan. You know, I knew he was going to come out hard. I knew he was going to try to take me out early, but that was going to be his downfall. And I said it. And I set him up. We let him come forward. All of a sudden, I land that beautiful right hook, and that just changed the fight. And I said it to him at the end of the round one. I said, "Hey, I'm still here, and I'll put you on your ass." So from there, I just dissected him, broke him down. When I did get put down in round 10, it was my fault. I was angry at myself because I lost that composure. I got a little bit too excited. I thought I could take him out of there. But, you know, it's part of the story, part of the fight. So I got up, finished the round, got back to the corner. I said, you know what? I stuffed up there. Now I'm going to punish him for that. And I did. Round 11 was probably my best round of the fight. And round 12, I finished the show and, you know, secured these belts. But very good win. I had it 9-3. I got to rewatch the fight properly. But, you know, I had it around 9 rounds to 3. You know, when you do that to the 2020 fighter of the year, you know, the pound for pound, you know, top guy, the kingpin of the lower division, or not anymore, you know, it shows where you're going. It shows who you are.
And this is why it's so important to always stay in the gym, because that's why I came on a 5-week notice.
So you've made a new move for your career. You've signed with Glenn Jennings.
To have people like Glenn wanting to jump on board and help me, you know, it's amazing the things that I've done and the people that have got me to where I have so far, but I'm really excited for 2022.
It's been a long time. It's been almost 18 months now since I had the shoulder repair.
We move forward, December 4th, big fight night. 2 fight nights on the same night. We've got Tasman fighters at Fortitude Music Hall. We've got Ace Boxing at Eaton's Hill. There's some cracking fights on. There's some titles, Lovelock. You're back. Talk to us about your fight first.
Well, yeah, return of Lethal 3.0 this time, so third version. But yeah, about 3-4 months ago, I started training again, but out at Allegiance Boxing with one of my close friends, Ozan Craddock, after retiring in 2018 now. So I've been training and just loving the sport again.
Big Z lost a kilo or two, didn't he?
Yeah, he does. Looks good. We're talking outside. He's changed his lifestyle a little bit, which is good for him. And I think he's being a little bit thin on the amount of comebacks. But, you know, at least he's in good shape, and that's a good thing and a good sign. And he's dedicated when he does get into training. It's good to see him healthy again.
Mate, with your fight, there's a couple other good ones. Ricky Silva's got an opponent now in Victor Roganov. That's going to be an interesting fight. Ricky's a great young talent. The Australian Super Flyweight title, the AMBF title, is going to be up for grabs from Nicola Costello and John Wayne Parr's daughter, Jasmine Parr. What do you think of that one?
Yeah, that's a very exciting fight. It's good to see so many females getting such big opportunities in boxing now and such an even fight like this. And I've heard so much about Jazzy Parr, how good she is, that work rate, that dominating type of pressure style that she'll put on. So I'm very interested to see how this one goes.
What do you expect out of the girl, Shokan?
Yeah, I think it's going to be an all-action sort of fight. I haven't, obviously, no one's seen Jazzy Parr box, but I've seen highlights of her Muay Thai fights that she's had in the last few years. She's definitely developed a lot from when she was young. I haven't seen much of Nicola, but I would assume that it's going to be an action-packed fight. Daughter
of a legend, Big Z, Jazzy Parr.
Yeah, or if she's got, you know, even a quarter of what John Wayne had, then she's going to go a long way. And in saying that as well, her mum's was a good fighter in her day as well. So from a fighting family, lives in the gym. I think she's destined to be great, whether it be in boxing or Thai boxing.
Super welterweight AMBF title up for grabs. Luke Woods, after defeating Ethan Law, faces Tyson Best. This is a great little fight.
Tyson Best that has that kind of that old school jab, boxes from distance so beautifully. So it's kind of going to be that whether Tyson can keep that distance and now box him, or Luke can get in there and make that fight messy and turn it into his fight. But again, another even fight, 50-50 down the line. Really looking forward to it.
Luke Woods is almost like the Wade Ryan. Like, you know, he gets put in these fights expected to lose, but I think that he's going to possibly make it a really hard win for Tyson, or he's going to come through with the goods.
From there we go to the main event, Cruiserweights, Australian title. Battle of the Timber Cutters. Loser has to shave the beard. Mark Bam Bam Flanagan, after his return in Townsville against Ben Kelleher and looking in great shape, he faces Floyd Masson, another southpaw. This has all the makings of a massive fight. Shotgun.
Yeah, I think it's a great fight. You know, I guess a year ago you would have thought Floyd would have won easily, but the way Bam Bam come back in his last fight, like he's back. So I think it's a great test for Floyd, and it's also a great test for Mark to see if he's still got it.
Yeah, I love this fight. I think this is probably the biggest domestic fight that could be made in Australia right now. You've got Floyd undefeated, coming forward, pegged as a future world champion against Mark Flanagan, who's been a 2-time world title challenger. If you go on their past 2 performances, Flanagan versus Ben Kelleher, didn't he look unreal? And then Floyd Masson, where he fought Joe Liga. Did you see a little bit of a kink in his armour in that fight? Or will he rise to the occasion now and keep that undefeated mentality going into it? So I think this is a 50-50 fight down the wire, and see whoever brings it on the night.
Oh, look, it's an absolutely cracking fight. Both boys very strangely having a steak dinner before the fight was even announced. They've been caught holding hands in different places as well. But no, all jokes aside, they both get on very well. It's a great fight. We caught up with both Floyd Masson and Frankie Pianto at Eastside Boxing, and we caught up with Bam Bam at TK Elite, and this is what the boys had to say. Floyd Masson, big cruiserweight fight, December 4th. You face Mark Bam Bam Flanagan. How's camp been preparing for this fight?
Yeah, really good, man. I've been training hard, just putting in all the work, and yeah, I know what I need to do anyway. So yeah, every camp's a hard camp, so just looking forward to the fight.
Have you prepared any differently for this camp as you have for previous?
No, it's been the same pretty much, just working on new things. But I'm always motivated, but man, I've got that extra little bit more of motivation and determination for this fight, because it means everything to me, man. So I'm working my ass off.
What can we expect? What can the fans expect from this fight?
It's going to be the fight of the year, I reckon. I just can't wait to get in there, and I know he can't wait to get in there, and our styles suit each other.
What excites you about Mark Bam Bam Flanagan?
He's tough as nails, comes to fight, he can bang, and he loves a good scrap. So.
We're here with Frankie Pianto, head coach of Eastside Boxing. December 4th, you've got Floyd Masson versus Mark Bam Bam Flanagan. This is a massive cruiserweight fight.
Yeah, I honestly believe it's one of the best domestic fights for 2021.
He's very comfortable here at Eastside. How have you seen him progress?
Yeah, Floyd's made a good transition over here. Obviously, we've been able to make a lot of changes because Floyd's been able to train full time, and obviously has access to full-time coaching, and the quality of the sparring over here is, a lot of cruiserweights in Queensland. So, yeah, I don't think we've seen the best of him yet. I don't think he's reached his full potential, but he's certainly made some good improvements here, and definitely been a good fit for the Eastside Boxing family.
What excites you about this fight?
Everything. I think stylistically both the same. I think potentially it's got fight of the year written all over it. And that's the truth. I've worked with a lot of boxers, and Floyd's probably the most professional boxer I've ever worked with in terms of preparation. Everything's on point, from the training to the recovery to the nutrition, everything. Floyd does all the 1% things. In terms of preparation's been good. His conditioning's good. All comes down to the night, really, doesn't it?
Does the loser shave the beard?
Yes. 100%.
You've made the transition from WA to here to Queensland to Eastside Boxing Gym with Frankie Pianto. You must be pretty settled now.
Yeah, definitely, man. I've had a few camps here now, so starting to feel really good. Got some good training partners with Jackson. He's joined the team now, so he's been great sparring. Obviously with Abdul and Luke when he's training. So it's a good team anyway. So, and obviously my strength coach, Cam, he's been putting me through some hard yards. So.
How did this fight come about? Were you arguing over timber rights or?
No, I think it was just, man, there's not many other, who else is there to fight, and I want to fight the best people in Australia. Obviously, Jai's fighting for a world title soon, so that's not going to make sense, but there's me, Bam Bam, and probably Watley, I reckon, and that's, after that, there's no one else in Australia outside of Jai.
What does this fight mean to your career and rounding out the year, which has been a successful year?
Man, it means everything. This is a big fight, and like, for me, I know it might not sound right, but this is like my world title fight, so I'm training like, because at the end of the day, this is going to stop where I want to be. So this is everything to me, and no one wants it more than me. I'm training so hard that, yeah, he doesn't want it more than me, that's it.
Loser shaves the beard?
Yeah, 100%, so I'll be keeping that beard.
Mark Bam Bam Flanagan, you just finished your training session. What did we go through tonight?
Just the usual, mate, you know, 10 grueling rounds, bag work, wall ball work, pad work, all of it, tick all the boxes.
Obviously you had the fight up in Townsville against Ben Kelleher. You lost a lot of weight to make it down to cruiserweight. Now, it seems like the second camp. How's this one tapering out?
Yeah, it was good. I only really blew back out to like 98 kilos instead of 111, so it was a good training weight, you know. Then I think when I was really peaking, I was sitting at a comfortable 94, 95, which would be my fighting weight, because I like to hydrate nice and well. So yeah, I'm sitting pretty with everything right now.
Obviously been doing the camp here at TK Elite. Have you noticed your improvement since your last fight against Ben Kelleher?
Yeah, 100%. You know, we're always ticking our boxes here. You know, always trying new things, but we're staying true to myself. Not changing too much. We're just improving on certain areas and getting better in the areas that I'm good at, and that's what's making me a better fighter. And yeah, I'm just really focusing on what I'm good at and just really perfecting it and getting it pinpoint.
What can the fans expect from this fight?
It's going to be a good fight. Probably a bit of toe-to-toe action, but from me, you're just going to expect just banging punches. It's going to be throwing them hard. You know, it's going to be inside, it's going to be body, it's going to be head. It's just going to come from everywhere, and they're going to be hard shots, and they're going to happen all tonight.
When you're on the couch at the Before the Fight studio, you mentioned that your phone works, and then when people ring it, you answer it. When you got the call for Floyd Masson, what's the first thing that went through your mind?
Great fight. Obviously, I'm pretty friendly with all the cruiserweights. It's probably my little curse. I seem to make too many friends with the people I'm going to fight, you know. But no, I had no issue fighting Floyd. You know, we went out of steak dinner and had a little chat, broke bread over it, and then after that, it was all business. You know, and that's the way I think Australian boxing should be sometimes. You know, able to relate to each other, talk to each other. But business is business, and December 4th, you'll see that we're just going to throw all that out the window, and it's just going to be two competitive guys trying to win.
What excites you about the fight?
Me, I'm exciting. So yeah, I'm excited for everyone to see me.
Feel like we were 1 week out when you face off against him at Mansfield Tavern on Saturday night at the fight night at Hayes Hill?
Maybe to him, because he had a clean haircut and everything, you know what I mean? He's looking real sharp, you know? I still look like a bloody caveman. But yeah, once I get a haircut, I feel fresher, ready for 1 week out. But yeah, no, things got real serious at the fight night when we faced off, and it kind of didn't dawn on me. I already knew that it was a serious fight, and it's been coming. I've been counting down the days, you know, but when we faced off, we could see it in his eyes, and you could see it in my eyes that it flicked the switch at both of us.
What does this fight mean to you at your stage of your career?
Everything. This is it for me. You know, I can't afford to be defeated. I need to win this fight. I need to win all my fights. You know, I've been on the end of some wrong decisions in my previous years because I've been around for forever and a day. You know, but I don't have any other choices. This is it for me. You know? And on the night, you're going to see why this is it for me. I'm just going to be going 100 miles an hour. It's just going to be the new and improved Bam Bam.
You're the king of the cruiserweights when it comes to Townsville. You've been considered one of the country's greatest cruiserweights ever. Are we going to see some of that form December 4th, Eaton's Hill, Ace Boxing Promotions?
All the stories you hear, you'll see on the night.
Loser shaves the beard, or?
I don't think he's that attached to his beard anyway.
From there, we move to Fortitude Music Hall. December 4th, Tasman fighters have got an absolutely stacked fight night. Some of the best talent coming up in the country are fighting on this card. Adam Copland's facing James Honey, a kickboxer crossover. Copland's first fight back since he fought Joel Kambosos up in Townsville. He's had a bicep surgery. He's got one of the best haircuts in the game. We all love him. Biggsy, what do you think about this one?
Well, yeah, I think obviously Adam is one of my favourite fighters to watch. I love him as a person. He's such a good dude. You've got to worry about the confidence of Honey. You know, we haven't seen much of him or anything of him, but to go in against someone of Adam's calibre, he's obviously pretty confident sort of guy, so I think Adam's got to be careful when he goes out, just establish that long jab and then let everything come off that. Don't go out trying to make a statement or anything like that because you really don't know what's on the other side, but they're confident going up against someone who's had 7 or 8 fights and been in with some good opponents in Adam.
Yeah, Adam's had some cracking opponents, Opetaia, Joel Kambosos. Is this the right comeback fight for him?
Yeah, look, I think it's a good comeback fight. There's, you know, when you've had that many fights, you're fighting a debutant, you can't really knock it back.
Yeah, it's great to see Adam coming back and fighting. Again, being a former teammate of his, he's one of my favourite fighters to watch, as well as Biggsy said. And he's got so much ability, and he's had those few little injuries over his career, so it's good to see him back in the ring doing what he does best, and hopefully he can get a good win and move on to bigger things.
Adam Copland, December 4th, Tasman fighters, you're fighting, you're back against James Honey from Wicked Bod's Gym. Exciting to see you finally back under the lights.
I'm excited to be under the lights. It's been a long time. It's been almost 18 months now since I had the shoulder repair. Fought that last fight in Townsville. Even before that, it was probably 12 months. So looking to get active again. We were looking for anything. I wasn't trying to put my toe in the water to see how it was. I just said, anyone, let's get it, like, let's go. And this is what they come up with, so that'll do.
You've been getting some quality rounds in. How's camp been?
Yeah, really quality rounds. We've been sparring Issac Hardman, Connor Wallace, all those sort of top guys, and it's been really good. I feel just stoked to be back in the mix of it all again. It's hard to watch from the sideline when you know you can be in there, and yeah, so stoked to be in the mix of it all.
Hard right. Oh, sorry there.
Keep this in there, don't edit it.
Mate, you're an absolute talent. You must be itching. The knuckles just must be itchy as.
Yeah, I really want to show everyone what I can do. If you've seen, when I spar at my best, everyone knows what I can do, and I haven't really brought that to the ring yet. Just through maybe a little bit of lack of experience, jumping in the deep end a little bit too early. I just think everyone will be able to see what I can do, and then that's what I want to be able to do. Show everyone my best.
From there, we move to the heavyweights. Masson Jr fights again. He's out of the boxing shop, trained by Gareth Williams. Great amateur career. He's a very exciting heavyweight. They've got an opponent for him, Shannon, Hunter Sam, but Masson, look, he's a big man, got a lot of reach and can box.
Yeah, I think Masson is a massive talent. I think he's going to do huge things in the heavyweight division. I guess he sort of goes a little bit unnoticed because of, you know, people like Justice and Django around at the moment making so much noise. But I think Masson is going to be a huge thing in that heavyweight division in Australia.
Look, he's got all the talent under the sun. He's a great guy, great boxer. How does G hold pads for him, Biggsy?
Probably a step ladder, probably like me, but I agree with Shannon, Masson. I think he's the next big thing in the country. You got to not only have the boxing ability, you've got to have charisma, character, and I think you see when Masson, you know, walks out to come out to the ring, you just got to love the way he looks and the show he puts on. Then he gets in the ring and he backs it up. So yeah, I agree that I think he's a superstar in the making.
From there, we move to the girls. Taylor Robinson, Kylie Fulmer. This is for the Australian bantamweight title. Taylor Robinson recently having a fight against you, stepping up. You got the chocolates on the night there. She's against one of your former opponents, Kylie Fulmer. What do you think of this?
To be honest, I don't know who wins this. Obviously, Taylor's got more skill, but I don't believe Taylor has got the power to keep Kylie off. When I fought Kylie, I hit her with bombs and she just kept coming. Taylor doesn't have that power. So I just don't know if she's got enough to keep her off. I think it's going to be a bit of an ugly fight, a lot of cuddling, a lot of holding. But Taylor's obviously got the more skill, but I don't know how it ends.
Interesting fight, interesting matchup. Biggsy, how do you see this one?
You know, Taylor will box off on her angles, use all her boxing skills, but she does need to create a bit of power to sort of hold those fighters off, which, you know, Shannon would have worked out in her fight as well. But I believe Kylie's just going to do a similar effort or whatever that she did against Shannon, where she's just going to try and come forward, but Taylor will be aware of that, and I think we'll see a lot of angles and a lot of creativity from her, and she might be too slick in the end.
From there, we have an exciting debut, a crossover from the Canterbury Bulldogs, Tavita Pangai Jr against Jericho Cecil. Tavita, he's got all the heart, he's got all the energy, he's young, he's very strong, Biggsy. How's he been in camp?
He's a pleasure, actually. He's probably, he's a sponge. He just wants to learn. I love the respect he has for the sport. He understands the sport, he understands how it works, he knows everyone and anyone, he's watched every video. He's the type of guy that you should say, I want you to do this or that. He will go home and he'll practice. The next day he'll come back and he can do it. It's unbelievable the improvement in him in that short amount of time. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see what he can do now in the ring.
Shotgun, one of the things that has impressed me is he's come out from the very get-go and said, no easy fights.
Yeah, that's super impressive. It shows the athlete in him. He had his first spar at my gym, and even right from then, I thought, like, you know, he had the respect for the sport. He wanted to learn. You could see then he wanted to learn, and you know, you could see that he listened to everything Chris said, and I remember being impressed with him back then.
Tavita Pangai Jr, you are debuting Fortitude Musical Tasman Fighters December 4th. You didn't want to take any easy fights. We caught up with you at the Gold Coast Convention Centre. Last time we spoke, you said you were getting ready. How have you improved in camp in the last couple of weeks?
Oh yeah, first few weeks was just rehabbing my knee. I missed the grand final, so yeah, taking it pretty seriously and trying to learn a lot. So.
Are you here solely and wholly as a boxer when you fight?
I wouldn't say I'm a boxer, but yeah, I enjoy coming in here every day, working with the boys, the Russell twins and Trent Broadhurst and Chris. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
How have you noticed the fitness challenges in the difference between football and boxing?
Oh yeah, you got to just breathe and stay calm and just yeah, it's pretty scary. Someone trying to punch your head off. Yeah.
How excited are you for your own debut?
No, I'm excited. Obviously nervous. No, never done something like this before, but trying to get as much sparring in as I can and you know, leave no stone unturned in my preparation.
How have you found it here at Logan Boxing?
I love it here. I've learned a lot. You know, I got footy. Lived on the north side, then moved to the south side. Shaggy from Corporate Box told me to come here, and I've learned so much. So yeah, thanks to Shaggy getting me in touch with Chris. So I learned so much.
And what can we expect December 4th?
Hopefully knockout. No, I don't want to promise anything, but yeah, just try to do the basics right and yeah, everything that I'm learning off the boys. So yeah.
Tavita Pangai Jr is going to be debuting on December 4th. He's made the crossover, he's come to Logan Boxing. What are you seeing in him as an athlete?
Yeah, he's, like you said, he's an athlete. He's just working on the basic skills at the moment that, you know, we want to make sure when he gets out into the ring he actually looks like a fighter. And no disrespect to any of the footballers or anything, those guys are footballers and they're coming over really quickly trying to learn the basics, which is really hard to learn so in that short amount of time. So the one thing with Tavita that we're trying to do is actually get him to know those basics, so by the time he gets in on December 4, he looks like a fighter when he gets out there.
What have you seen in improvements?
Yeah, well, look, if you look at him now, he does look like a fighter. He's starting to get a better stance. He's learning that he can't be, you know, Floyd Mayweather or Canelo. He's got to be Tavita Pangai Jr. Do the basic skills, work the jab, everything behind that, have good footwork, and if he does all that right, then he should go all right on the night.
Australian welterweight title, big fight, Andrew Hunt, Ben Kite. The rematch, lethal.
In this one, I'm really on the fence again, thinking that Ben has such a good chance to come back and get this win back, maybe setting up a third fight, or Hunt could come back if he stays motivated, rises up to that occasion and boxes to a better win than he did before.
This fight means the world to Benny Kite, Shannon?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Benny doesn't like to lose. No one I guess, does. So he's really focused on doing all the hard work that he has to do and making it a tougher fight for Andrew to get it over him.
Biggsy, big talent in Andrew Hunt. He has changed teams, like Lethal said. What do you see that you like about him?
Well, I think it's like what Lethal said. In one aspect, you lose the motivator, but you gain a technician. And you know, Letty is such a good fighter with so many skills. I don't think we saw the best of Letty, and he could have went a long way. But if he can put some of that into Andrew Hunt, yeah, Andrew's going to go a long way. Again, he's up against Benny Kite, that is just that tough, aggressive, walk forward style fighter, nice and strong. So Andy's going to have to be sharp on the night to avoid that, but he's going to have to dig deep as well.
We're here with Ben Kite from Fortitude Boxing. You've got a rematch against Andrew Hunt at the Fortitude Music Hall Tasman Fighters. The rematch for the Australian welterweight title.
Yes, very excited about this one. You know, the team and I have been pretty keen for it for a while, and I'm really thankful to them and Tasman Fighters for being able to get us on this awesome card.
You had a bit of time to reflect after the last hit out with him. What made you excited about the rematch?
I'm excited for this rematch because I know it's going to require more of me than what I've done before. You know, I'm not just fighting to win now, I'm fighting to level up, and that's when you're going to see the best bang of any kite.
Have you changed up a few tactics, or are you just improving on what you're already working with?
We've changed a couple of things. Obviously, we're improving on what we've been doing in the past as well, but I've changed a couple of things. I'm training a lot smarter now, and I think on the night you're going to see a much fresher version of myself.
It's obviously a big fight and a big way to end out the year.
Yeah, definitely. Look, we're the number 1 and number 2 ranked welterweights. You know, and we were the same in our first fight in April. So it's the biggest fight either of us can get, and I'm myself anyway really excited to put on a big performance.
How's camp been in Fortitude?
Yeah, it's been amazing. I mean, we're only 3 weeks out from the fight now, and the fight's only been just announced, but it has been in the works for a little while, I think. So we've been training hard and working hard. Camp's been going great, and I'm really enjoying it.
Ben Kite, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Dana Coolwell, Miles Zalewski. This fight is as close as they get. Bigsy.
Yeah, I was quite surprised to see this fight match up after Dana's last fight. You know, he went up in weight and he took the chance and he didn't come through, but they don't want to underestimate Miles. Miles is a very skillful fighter. He's hard to hit. We had Kyle Freiberg fight him last fight, and Kyle just said he's just impossible to hit. But Dana's obviously a little bit faster, and he's going to need to use that speed to try and catch Miles.
AMBF Super Featherweight title. He lost a tough one against Jake Wiley, coming up to lightweight. Dangerous fight or the right fight to come back on?
I guess you could probably take it both ways. I think it's dangerous, but it's also, you know, it'll be good for him mentally to know that he didn't take things the easy way. But I just think it's too close. 6 weeks. He was in a whether he won that fight or lost that fight with Jake, he was in a hard battle. There would have been really no rest, and to come back and get straight back into it, I think he's probably chasing that loss a little bit too much, and they probably should have brought him back a little bit slower.
Stephen Pitt, head trainer at Hinterland. He's known Dana the whole time. He's had him since he was very young. Dana's slick, he's sharp. He's a very impressive up-and-coming fighter, Bigsy.
Yeah, he is. He's certainly got the skills, but similar to what Shannon said, it is a big ask to come back in such a fight after 6 weeks. But I love when the fighters fight each other and bring the sport of boxing back in and take away the business side. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what Dana can do.
Miles, touted to be in a fight with Paul Fleming, trains out of All-Star Boxing. Benny Harrington, he's been sparring with Liam Wilson the whole time. He's about as ready as he can get.
Yeah, look, I mean, it is an exciting fight, and I think it's going to be great. Miles is I guess maybe underestimated for the skill that he's got and his size. He's a big super featherweight.
Look, we spoke to Miles Zalewski at Fortitude when everybody was there sparring, and Miles is very keen. Miles Zalewski, December 4th,
Tasman Fighters, Fortitude Music Hall. You face Dana Coolwell. It's a big fight. It's a great way to end out the year.
Yeah, like I didn't know how the year was going to close. I know we were just waiting for a couple of other offers with the whole, the situation at the moment. We just weren't sure what was happening because we weren't offered Dana a couple of times, and we just kind of let it on the back burner for these other opportunities. But now that they're gone, the business of boxing, we just got to take what we can, and it's Dana Coolwell. So this is a interesting sport because anything can happen. I don't think we'll fight, but now we're fighting, so it's good for the sport.
Mate, you're deep in camp. We've just seen you do some quality rounds. How's camp been?
Oh, tough, man, and this is why it's so important to always stay in the gym, because this fight came on a 5-week notice. Man, I'm giving massive credit to Dana because he fought a tough fight 2 weeks ago. So he's having a 5-week turnaround. So I've got nothing to complain about, you know what I mean? He's been strong, but I know that was a fight. We know the human body needs to recover, all that type of jazz. So I'm just giving him nothing but credit for him stepping up after his last performance. So I expect him to come. He's bringing it. So because I'm expecting him, he's bringing it, I have to bring it too. So this camp has been a crazy camp. As you can tell, I'm exhausted.
Mate, stylistically, great fight. Both very technical fighters. What excites you about it?
This is going to bring out, look, I'm like in the shadows. No one knows who I am still, Zalewski, 4 years off, come back, 4 KOs, so people haven't really seen me yet. They've only seen highlights of the power that I possess. I know I have power, I know that. Whether that shows on this fight night, I have to bring everything else with me too. I can't just rely on power because Dana can box. And there's boys, Dana's looking past me. I see what's past Dana. Dana's just starting his boxing career. There's so much more ahead of me. So this is going to show me, can I box? Can I box with a slick boxer? So this is going to show,
Mate, we can't wait for it. It's going to be a cracking fight December 4th, Fortitude Music Hall, Zalewski.
Yeah, thank you. Look, I want to thank Tasman Fighters. I get to do this once again. Fox Sports, so let's go, man, let's go.
It's a great fight, this one. Don't take your eyes off the screen. Great skill. Both boys very hungry, very fit. This could be fight of the night. To the heavyweights, Django, Apolou versus Lucas Big Daddy Browne. Now, this fight was meant to be on another card, but it's now on the Tasman fight card. Lucas, we last saw him have a hit out on the no limit card at Wollongong against Paul Gallen. The fight didn't go the way he wanted it to go. So from here, he's taking on Django, but big ask, both boys.
Look, personally, I think it's probably an easy night for Django. He's just the fresher of the two. He loves it. He loves it. He's not just in it to stay in it. He actually loves it, and I think it's going to be an easy night for Django.
Fire Apolou, Django. December 4th, you face Lucas Big Daddy Browne, Fortitude Music Hall, Tasman Fighters. Big fight, this one. What excites you about this fight?
Oh, definitely a big fight. It's exciting. He's a former WBA champion, first in Australia. It's an honour for me to face a big dog like him, and get that experience. So it's exciting. There's no doubt about it. I'd fight anyone.
And how's camp been?
It's been good. It's been tough with the family and the kids, and I've been doing my best, and I'm feeling good, and that's all I can take.
Been getting some good rounds in?
Yeah, definitely. The boys from Boxing Shop, NTG, the boys at Corporate will be doing rounds with later on this week. The boys up at Caboolture up there, be doing rounds up there. So there's plenty more.
What's Big Daddy do that's good?
He's got that big right hand, and I can see that. I think everyone can see that. Someone like me, I can see that coming from a mile away. So, I'm ready for it.
What can we expect on the night?
Nothing but a good fight. Fireworks, exciting fight, something that everyone pays the money to go and watch, and nothing boring. All I can say is it's going to be a good fight.
We haven't seen you fight for a while. Is this the comeback? Is this the you're reigniting the career, or did you just have some time off and it was never, this is not a comeback, you're always fighting?
Yeah, I had most of this year off. I fought Korea earlier this year. It was a matter of not getting the fights. No one wanted to fight. Couldn't find anyone to have a fight with. And with the whole COVID thing, just didn't happen. So this came up, I took it, and yeah, let's hope the COVID doesn't get in the way.
Were you excited when Jamie rang you?
Oh, definitely. I'm excited for any fight. Anyone that comes and has got, got the balls to go in the ring and punch on, I'm excited. It's a fight. It's what we love doing.
Big 2022 coming on.
Hopefully, it's a good year. We were planning on it, but I'm not looking past Lucas Browne. I want to get this fight over and done with and win this fight, and we'll plan the next year.
December 4th, Fortitude Music Hall. Big Daddy versus the Big Us.
Big Daddy. Who's your daddy?
Look, Django's got a great amateur pedigree as well. We've seen him in there with Justice. We've seen him in there with the top dogs of the heavyweight division. Lucas, a world interim title holder, Bigsy. But look, Django, dangerous head movement.
Yeah, look, the one thing, Lucas mightn't be the fighter he was a few years back, but the one thing he won't lose is the power. He's known for his power, and that's the one thing Django's got to be careful of. Sometimes he can be a little lazy in defence, but if he goes out and boxes smart, Django, just head movement, works behind the jab, there's a big chance he'll land that overhand shot that he'll be looking for, but he just can't go in there disrespecting Lucas, because Lucas still got that power and he'd be dangerous.
From there we move to the co-main event, Jai Opetaia versus Daniel Russell. It's a big fight, hard ask for Daniel. Jai's in amazing form. Shotgun, what do you think?
Look, I mean, Daniel, yes, tough. Like, he's been around and fought a lot of people, but to take it on, or was it like 10 days notice, Jai's in heavy training camp and preparing even past this fight. I think it's probably not a good thing for Daniel.
Look, you were saying earlier, Bigsy, that Daniel's your favourite out of the twins, that you're not a real fan of Aaron Lovey. But look, all that being said, if Daniel can win the fight, how does he do it?
Well, it's two different ways. I mean, if he goes and tries to be aggressive and tries to catch Jai, similar to what George did with Lopez, and then he's got to jump on him. But the problem is if he pushes too hard and goes, wants to be too aggressive, Jai's such a good boxer on the back foot. So there's a bit of stuff that we're working on A and B, and then we'll just see what Daniel can take out into the ring.
Jai, an absolute talent, Shotgun.
Yeah, and I feel like, Jai's also got a little bit of pressure on him for this fight to come out and I would assume get rid of Daniel early because of Daniel taking it on short notice. And, if he takes it into the later rounds and Daniel is doing well, then it doesn't look great on Jai.
Look, the calibre of his opponents previously, Ben Kelleher before that, Bam Bam, it's hard. How do you prepare Daniel as best you can a week and a half out?
Well, we've just been trying to cram as much sparring and partner work in with the left-handed stance. Like I said, the good part was Daniel was actually sparring a lot with Ben Kelleher and a couple others, just fitness stuff, just staying in shape. It was helping Ben get ready for his fight that ended up falling through. Yeah, I think that Daniel just has to go out and have a crack early and just do his best. He understands that. He knows what the position he's in.
The main event, Issac Hardman, Adam Stowe. Issac, you can't take anything away from him, Shotgun. Is there a busier fighter this year?
I actually watched an interview with him on Ben Damon, and the amount of times he says he's excited to bounce his knuckles off people's heads. It's for people in boxing, I guess you can understand, but for people outside of boxing, they'd be like, this guy's a sicko.
Look, he's great for the sport. He loves the camera. He loves talking his fights up. Bigsy, he had 3 fights in 50 days. The guy's very active.
Yeah, I guess he's changing the stereotype of a professional boxer. They usually box, have a good break, come back and have another fight. But I love what he's doing. If he's fit enough to keep going at this early stage of his career, let him go. And yeah, I'm looking forward. I love what he does as well, so I'm looking forward to seeing him in action again.
So this one's for an IBF Pan-Pacific title. Adam Stowe, probably not the opponent that Issac was looking for. We know he was looking for the Michael Zarafa fight. But this one, for Issac, Adam Stowe. We haven't seen Adam Stowe fight this year, but look, he's strong. He always comes to mix it up. What can you expect?
Adam Stowe, he's one of the nice guys of Australian boxing. We've had him down in our promotions down in Canberra before, where he fought Bo Hardis last year. And I think he'll bring a much harder fight than people are giving him credit for as well. I think he'll be under no illusion the hard task that he has coming up, but he's got that tricky Southport style where he'll bring the fight to Hardman as well. And like, I think Issac's on another level to most people in Australia, and he's got that winning mentality similar to George Kambosos, which we've been speaking about. And as Issac always says, him being so active and fighting so frequently, it's too hard of a sport to train every day to not fight so frequently. So if the opportunities are there, absolutely jump in and take them. And I think Adam Stowe is the same type of fighter.
We spoke to Issac Hardman when he was in camp with Blair Studley, and he's very excited about this fight. Issac Hardman, the head splitter, you face Adam Stowe, Fortitude Musical, December 4th. Mate, you wanted a fight, you will make a fight happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I need a fight. You know, the biggest sin in boxing has been inactive. So, you know, and you know there'll be naysayers on the keyboard saying, you know, he's a lesser opponent. But man, I need to do what I need to do. I'm only there to find the people that are put in front of me. And credit to Adam Stowe for stepping up, taking the fight. You know, I'm in a position where I've got everything to lose. He's got everything to gain. So, you know, that puts more pressure on me. You know, if I take an L to Adam, that's 2 years building back to where I am now. You know, he's got everything again, so good on him for taking the fight. And then no way am I overlooking Adam Stowe. Like, when you start doing that, you get complacent in training. You know, every time, like my fiance says, every fight's a fight. And Adam's the next guy in front of me, and I'm going to take him out. And I'm preparing as if I'm fighting Canelo Alvarez every time, whether it be, you know, Joe Blow down at the pub, or, you know, Canelo Alvarez. That's what we're doing.
Mate, you'll do anything to progress the career, and many fighters should be doing that. And you made this fight happen. Are you excited about the fight, or excited to round out the year in a big way?
Man, I'm excited about the fight. Adam Stowe coming off, you know, in his last 6, he's 5-1 with a no contest. I've seen that fight. He belted Bo Hardis. He went down early in the first round, and he climbed himself off the canvas and put it on Bo Hardis, and there was some technicality about the ref stopping it with 3 seconds late in the round. He won that fight, come on man, and he so good on him. He's always gonna come for a fight, Adam Stowe. So like I said, I'm not overlooking him. I'm excited for the fight, being a southpaw. It'll just be another chance to put a highlight on my reel. So that's what I'm looking to do. I'm not saving any rounds for anyone. I'm not gonna get the rounds in preparation for the next one. If I can take him out, which I will, I'm gonna.
December 4th, you've got one across the line, Issac Hardman, Adam Stowe.
Yeah, it was hard to find an opponent for Issac. We sort of went up to the super middleweights and asked everyone up there, and it looked like we had Rowan Murdoch, but then he wanted to go a different direction in the end, so we didn't end up getting that. So thank God Adam Stowe put his hand up. He has wanted to fight Issac before, so yeah, I'm glad he's put his hand up for the fight.
Must be pretty happy with the year. It's been a great year for Nitro.
Yeah, been a real busy year. Looking forward to having a break after this, so I've sort of scheduled it that the 4th will be our last show, and then we'll have a bit of a break and then charge up for the new year.
Mate, Blair Studley, the mad scientist, he must be pretty happy with what's going on at the moment.
Yeah, he's pumped. We've got David Chan as well. Dan Hill, former Australian MMA champion, he's looking to make his pro boxing debut as well. So the gym's churning out some talent, even in the amateur system as well. The gym's pumping. We're excited, and you know, like the saying, the rising tide lifts all the boats, and that's what's happening.
Issac said that he's going to have to box smart through the earlier rounds, Biggsy.
Yeah, I think Issac has pretty much one style, really. He's a hard man, he can punch, and my guess is he's going to try and walk down Stowe pretty early, just work behind his punches, give him no room to breathe, and he's going to try to let his big shots go. But I don't think Issac is going to take it lightly. I think he'll go out there, try and push the pressure early and jump on him.
He's looking for a massive 2022, possible international opponents, but first he's got to get through Adam Stowe.
I agree with what Chris said. I don't actually think that Issac takes anyone lightly, and I know that he won't take this fight lightly. He goes into every fight with the seriousness of this person is trying to take my livelihood away from me. So I think it's going to be good, and we're going to see a really good Issac.
So there we have it, wrapping up the two big cards. Tasman Fighters there, Fortitude Musical, December 4th, live on Fox. It's going to be an absolutely cracking night. Right, guys, thanks very much for being on the couch. Some cracking fights. Love talking all things boxing. I'm Rob Scheif, and you're watching Before the Fight.